Anyway, let me get the usual thing up. Oh, this doesn't fit for some reason. There we go. Most people here are pretty chill about this, but just in case there's any new folks watching along, don't piss your pants about.
Don't be cringe.
Oh.
The only cringe you can be is cringe but free. You know the one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cringe positive, not cringe negative.
Cringe/LH.
Yeah.
So on that note, how many of you are familiar with Gurren Lagann?
Extremely. It is one of
Like
my
not.
favorite anime.
Regrettably, I haven't watched it yet.
Okay,
Oh,
so
you're in for such a treat
good.
when you finally get around to it. You're in for such a treat.
Sonya, actually, we need you to watch the entire thing right now.
Okay. I
You're
need
on
to
stream,
pack.
actually.
I need to pack. But okay, sure.
All right, I'm going to
probably
download it.
get by with just watching Gurren Hen and Lagann Hen.
the movies, yeah, pretty much.
They are basically just the show, but without, a lot of the stuff in the middle of the show.
Yeah,
If you're looking for, the vibes of the show without getting it also has a much better ending. I'll say it. The final battle of Gurren Hen and Lagann Hen is just incredible. Only matched by the fist fight. But, the actual, the coming out with all the galaxies and stuff and the cape and all that, that's peak. That's peak.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
I'm actually shocked that they didn't just put that in the show.
Anyway, I know a lot about it, to answer your question. Sorry, I'm familiar.
I've never seen the
whoops,
movies.
doodle. That's not what I wanted to do.
Oh, everybody has taken over all of us.
I went into the creative mode in Minecraft for a second. So yeah, needless to say, very much all of us, except for Sonya, are familiar with Gurren Lagann. How many of you are familiar with Kyle Rayner?
Me.
Moderately. I'm aware of
familiar
him.
with Kyle Rayner.
I
I'm
didn't
familiar
hear.
with I'm familiar with power scalers talking about Kyle Rayner, more particularly.
I didn't hear about him until the last time we were on the show.
He's very cool. I don't know how much the analysis portion is going to go into, how actually fucking cool Kyle Rayner is, because they also have to fucking justify why they're putting him up against Simone the Digger at the same time.
Oh,
Yeah,
have you not
what's the
seen
connection
the
here? Because I don't
analysis
know his
already?
character.
They'll go over it, but sorry, Kobuddy, go ahead.
Yeah, they'll go over it. The main thing is they are both beings that are very powerful beings that are powered by their own willpower and such. That's sort of the basic connections between them. But yeah, like I said, I don't know how much they'll talk about the cool shit Kyle Rayner actually does. I do know from watching the fight, because I save the analysis portions for these streams. I do know from watching the fight, they do him quite a bit of justice there. And another thing I do know about the analysis is they go deep into the fucking weeds with this one.
Oh.
Okay.
I think it's kind of important because, Simone the Driller he's one of those Saitama style concept.
He's
Yeah,
a
whatever.
digger.
He's a digger. Words are
He
words.
digs.
He's one of those Saitama style conceptual characters where he has a power in the storyline, but the way the character functions is on an Aesop level. And it's important to understand that when you try to power scale him. I didn't understand him properly until recently before this episode. And he's one of those, I can't conceptualize someone ever losing. I can't conceptualize someone ever not losing to him in a death battle format. It is unwinnable for any character who also wasn't written as a parable, more or less.
Well, I will stop the music and we'll just get into it. Let me turn
Oh,
my bill
yeah.
back up a little bit.
I'm excited.
Simone the Digger.
Kyle Rayner, the White Lantern.
Two men born of Earth with the willpower to pierce the heavens and conquer infinity.
He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick.
And it's our job to analyze their weapons, armor, and skills to find out who would win a death battle. Deep underground, Jiha Village lived in dreary isolation, oblivious to the wider world above their squalid cave.
That's where the hero of our story comes in. The young man who would lead his comrades into the sunlight at last. Kamina, the great and mighty. Oh, and his little brother from another mother, Simone. He was there too, I guess.
Simone was a digger.
Wait, what'd that text say?
From another mother, Simone.
The cool, but
Yeah.
not as cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
He was there too,
Oh,
I
this is
guess.
gonna make me
Simon
rewatch
was
this
a
show.
digger, content to drill endlessly through the dirt, until the day he found the core drill.
A key that activated the mysterious buried mech that Kamina named Lagan. Under his magnificently masculine leadership, Kamina finally drilled their way to freedom, seeing the sun after a life in the dark.
But the sky was by no means the limit. The surface was ruled by the cruel chimeric beastmen, and Kamina would lead his compatriots against them to reclaim the Earth for
Fucking
humanity.
I
comically
love the
looking
long
Katana.
sword. The Kamina very long sword is a classic of anime.
So funny.
It's so good.
It's so good.
I think that's about the only, like, one of the few clips I have seen, because,
Yeah.
of course.
You've probably seen that. It's very funny.
Aptly named Gurren.
And as befits Kamina and Simone's unbreakable brotherly bond, Gurren and Lagan merged, creating Gurren Lagan.
What?
I love Kamina's stupidly long sword.
Thank you for the resub, Dusty Tome.
With Kamina piloting the body and Simone the head, these two were unstoppable.
Of all the giant fighting robots in all the animes across history, Gurren Lagann might just be the absolute coolest, fueled by its pilot's willpower
That's true.
and capable of making any weapon they can imagine.
Including missiles, a jetpack, a sunglasses boomerang, and of course,
Drills! Wrist-mounted drills, kunai drills, shield
Also, yeah, those missiles,
Also drills.
they are, keep those missiles in mind.
Okay.
Also, I can see the comparison already now, a bit more.
The Giga Drill Bureku!
The creativity part.
It is so
Yeah, I mean, also the whole, like, I don't know if they go into this in Kyle's analysis, but Kyle is canonically a fan of Gurren Lagann.
Oh, that's adorable.
Oh, that's really funny. Surely that will not come up at all.
Like, the whole thing with Kyle is that he's a big weeb nerd, and he's especially into
Thanks.
mecha anime.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
funny that the only thing they could think of was drills. That's like if I made booze or something, my whole personality. What up?
With Gurren Lagann's awesome power, Kamina laid waste to enemy forces, liberated human villages, and fomented a rebellion against the Beastmen King, Lord Genome.
Until Kamina died. Oh, wait, shit, was that supposed to happen?
Nope, and it was all Simone's fault. He let his willpower waver, and his soul brother paid the price. After all, he was just a humble digger, at home in the darkness, guided solely by the light of Kamina's spirit.
So his big
Yeah, this is a very, abridged rundown, but the whole thing with Kamina and Simone is Kamina is very much sort of...
Kamina's an ideas guy.
Yeah, he's also very much more the... I'm not gonna say, fully the main character at that point of Gurren Lagann, but...
Oh, he is. I'll say it. He is.
Yeah. It was
I'll
like
tell you that.
this is an old show at this point, so it's mostly. But there was like a huge twist at the time,
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
enormous
wow.
twist that midway through the series, like the super cool, extremely fan popular main character fucking dies and is like hanger-on little brother is now the main character now with all that represents.
Mhm.
It was very cool to watch in real time.
Bro,
Even
left
I,
it with the-
the person who knows nothing about it, that's like everyone knows about kind of thing.
Yeah, for sure.
these final words. Have
If I called up
faith
my
in the
mother, who does
Simone
not watch
believes
anime
in
at all,
you.
and I ask her, hey, do you know what
Yeah.
happens to
Kamina
Kamina?
was the
My
one
mom's just
looking
gonna be
up
like,
to
oh, the
him
dead guy?
whole time. It was Simone who found Lagan, Simone who pierced the surface, and Simone who would now lead humanity to victory.
Especially with his gal pal Nia at his side, who helped pull him out of his rut and kick Lord Genome's ass. But victory only lasted 7 years before the anti-spiral attacked.
Unimaginably powerful godlike aliens, the anti-spiral feared humanity's potential, what they dubbed the Spiral Nemesis.
Remember how Gurren Lagann runs on fighting spirit? Turns out that's just a manifestation of spiral power, an energy that all spiral beings, like humans, have. That's right, the laws of physics run on chutzpah.
Just as the spiral turned inward represents endless obsession and madness, the spiral turned outward.
Oh shit, Uzumaki reference. The one good shot in the Uzumaki anime.
Spins forever into infinity, the perfect representation of humanity's evolutionary potential.
Potential Simone would use as he led Team Dai Gurren across the multiverse to take the fight to the anti-spiral. And this is when Gurren Lagann gets crazy.
Channeling spiral power lets you constantly adapt to threats, no matter how overwhelming. Simone can create portals to different realities.
Yeah, so, part 1 of Gurren Lagann and part 2 of Gurren Lagann, very different shows in terms of, like, the scale.
Yeah, the moment that, like, the moon happens, the whole show is just, like, different.
Yeah, pretty much.
And higher dimensions. He can generate force fields, absorb energy attacks, and even merge Gurren Lagann with bigger and stronger machines.
Creating
Probability missiles.
Probability altering missiles, yeah.
They'll probably go into this, but if they don't, I'll explain what those are at the end of Simone's
the
analysis.
Arc Gurren Lagann, which is strong enough to shatter space and time with a punch.
Or the Super Galaxy Gurren Lagann, which can fire lasers that are fast enough to hit, and I quote, all time, space, and dimensions.
There we go.
All within a Planck instant.
That's the smallest unit of time physically possible.
Meaning each laser would have to be moving 4.6 times 10 to the 117th power times faster than light. Oh, well, looks like this wins the award for fastest calculated speed feat in our show's history. Congratulations, Gurren Lagann.
Move over, Sponge.
Yeah, SpongeBob was the last holder for fastest calculatable speed.
I remember that.
In this show.
I think I missed that one. I'm pretty happy about that, actually. I'm just gonna sit here with this one. I like the new one better.
Also,
shout outs to my boy Mega Man Battle Network.
Yeah,
Let's fucking go, buddy.
yeah, Mega Man.
MegaMan.exe got it going.
I do like Samus being here as the first one because, like, Samus versus Boba Fett was the first death battle ever done. And the speed for her was, like, she can run really fast.
Hey, no, that's not true. Speed Booster's even faster than very fast.
So, very, very fast.
Yeah, there's two
Super
varies on
fast.
that.
Bob, you've been dethroned.
Why did you turn into
and
Zap
the
Brannigan
guidebook
when you were
says
coughing?
They hit an innumerable number of enemies across infinite universes. You literally cannot calculate how fast that is.
Just a thing.
But it wasn't
I
enough
do,
to escape
sorry.
the anti-spiral's greatest trap.
I'll make sure my
the
mental illness stays in check
multiverse
next time.
labyrinth. An attack that imprisons Simone in his own unique multiverse.
I
forced to
expect you to be
experience an
telling me how we're gonna get past the kill bots.
Also, yeah, get ready for, some shit.
infinite number of alternate
Yeah, I
realities
didn't
that
really
control
know it
his
went
mind,
into
permanently arresting
multiverses.
him in a dream world.
Except Simone and his spiral power are just built different. And after being inspired by his bro, Simone absorbed that whole multiverse to escape.
What makes this even more impressive is that this labyrinth was 11-dimensional, meaning Simone absorbed a higher dimensional structure
Now you're just
several
making
orders
shit
of
up.
infinity greater
Yes,
than
they are.
himself.
You can make up whatever you want.
Dimensions
It's great.
is basically infinite.
This is
Each
the most
dimension adds a
playground
new
battle it's
direction
ever
of
been.
space that
So,
This bit is the most, like, it's the thing that's the most important out of, like, everything that's being described.
unironically, yes. What's so funny to me. Also, shout out to Infinite here. Actually, 1 second.
extends
There was also
infinitely.
Bill there.
Thus,
Goodbye, Infinite.
Yeah, so
Hey, there's a
Yeah.
weird fucking cat in here, Ma.
yeah,
Ah.
this is wrong. And then before that, there was Bill to the left side.
Goodbye, Infinite.
So like the thing about this bit is that the way this character works is that at the end of the series, what Simone the Driller is supposed to be is the indomitable human spirit. Like, the idea of Gurren Lagann is that all
That dog in you
difficulties
can overcome anything.
Yeah, but like, more specifically, the idea is that, like, all difficult situations are ultimately good because over a very long amount of time, from generation to generation, humanity can overcome crisis little by little, turning it into fuel for self-improvement. And the way that is represented in universe is that spiral energy can turn anything that's not spiral energy into spiral energy if it's threatening spiral energy, which means anything that's a problem is converted into power for this character. Like, in order to represent the unflinching power of the indomitable human spirit, this character just can't lose to anything ever as his bit. His bit is winning situations he should not win.
And
that
no,
makes
he
the
committed
thing.
to that bit.
They're unbeatable
prepare
in a
your-
1v1 death battle.
Prepare your, like, absolutely mind-blown faces here, but the indomitable human spirit's reaction when the indomitable human spirit walks in the room. Because guess what the fuck Kyle Rayner is all about?
Yeah,
Little bit.
and yeah.
But I will say, Death Battle has mostly stayed away from this whole dimensional tiering shit.
Because it gets really numbery.
It gets really
dumb really fast.
It gets really done really fast. It gets really complicated for like a regular audience watching. It's so funny to me that the thing that made them pull dimensional power scaling out wasn't a comic book. It was Gurren Lagann.
It's warranted.
Thus, an infinite gap in size and scope.
What?
Oh, we're just getting started. Imagine a two-dimensional drawing interacting with a three-dimensional person.
Okay. That's not too far off from what actually happened.
Because when Simon absorbed the multiverse labyrinth, he merged with every alternate universe version of himself, including an alternate universe Simon who is writing his own alternate universe version of Gurren Lagann. And that author's spiral power made his fictional Simon real, adding another to the mix.
Wait, if every human being has spiral power, you're telling me we can all do this shit?
This all gave our Simone enough spiral power to form the next step in mecha evolution, Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann.
This is when Gurren Lagann gets actually fucking crazy. Like shooting missiles that alter probability so they have 100% chance of hitting you.
There it is! There it is! Yeah, Gurren Lagann shoots missiles that just flat out alter space and time in order so that it is guaranteed to fucking hit you no matter what.
Well, Nobody, you're not thinking tactical enough. The missile knows where it is because it knows where it isn't. So if it knows it's not hitting you, it should be hitting you. That's so easily explained. I can't believe you missed that.
Or tossing galaxies around like frisbees. Sorry, did I say galaxies? I meant universes.
Simon's power was so immense that he started generating
in
super
a universe and he got flipped out.
He like turned out like a cup. I don't think that's how it works.
The best way I can describe it is that everything that happens in like end game Gurren Lagann is playground logic.
Yeah, a little bit.
writ
It's an
large,
Aesop
and
fable.
It
It's
kicks
really
ass,
like
yeah.
it is
you keep saying that, Matt, but I feel like I would have paid more attention to Aesop if he put a fucking mech in there. It's all lions
it's
and
an
mice and
Aesop
shit.
fable for a modern audience. It's Aesop if he was base. Like
Based off,
That is
yeah.
really what it
Aesop,
is. That's
yes.
like all Gurren Lagann is at the end of the day, is like a really, really cool
robot's
children's
cooler than
fable
yours.
of like you should believe in yourself super hard. Like that's the whole show. in a nutshell.
Thank God for
just-
Aesop inventing things like themes and stories. You know, we wouldn't have had that without Aesop.
We would have been in real trouble without Aesop giving us the concept of the hero or whatever. Yeah.
Now that you brought up like Gurren Lagann being like a children's playground rules and shit, now it just really made me think of the whole last fight of Simone versus the anti-spiral of literally just my robot's better than yours. No.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're literally they're making. Listen, I have a barrier that makes it so the probability of anything hitting me is 0. Well, I have missiles that alter probability that always hit. Like it's 5-year-olds. It's on the playground. It's great.
Both of these characters are just saying shit. They're just saying
There's a
shit, and
character
that's
who
gonna be
just
the whole thing.
hits a button at all times. It's his only fucking move is hitting a button. And they give that character this big moment of the character hit the button better than ever before, and now the missiles can't miss. Call that shit hiddles.
Space, a higher dimension encompassing our own universe.
With it, Simon turns his thoughts into reality, letting him create his mech and all of its weapons in the first place.
Not only does this mean he no longer needs co-pilots, he can also regenerate any damage done to him or his mech just by willing it back into existence.
Like when Lord Genome used spiral power to survive quantum breakdown, or the time Nia, now the best wife in the universe, used spiral power to constantly regenerate her
Best wife in the
body from
universe. She
being
was on
erased
screen for a
at the
cumulative like 30
informational
minutes
level
of the whole
for
anime.
7 days straight.
Information
Why?
in physics is essentially the ones and zeros that make up every possible
Simone
outcome
decided
in
that he was the
reality.
best wife. She was the best wife, so it makes sense. I don't know. I've never watched it. That's how it
She
works,
talks
right?
like Starfire Teen Titans, and she's just a precious bean for like half the show and a hostage or actively hostile for the rest of it.
Yeah.
Well, you
Nia
know.
literally regenerated from the statistical certainty of her own destruction.
If I have spiral power, whiz, where the fuck is my leg growing back?
When even this was not enough for the anti-spiral, Simone evolved one
They
more
let Boom
time.
Six say fuck.
Into Super Tengen
They've let him say fuck a few times during this episode, which is honestly.
I love Super Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann. This is the dumbest
so
shit
cool.
it's ever been, and it's the coolest it's ever been. Hands down, bar
That's the
none.
power of the fucking spiral. It's simultaneously the dumbest and the coolest shit you've ever seen.
Yes, but specifically when it
This
is
mech
manifesting
is so big,
your
its size
dead
is
older
literally
brother figure
incalculable.
as your
And with a
ultimate
drill
move.
somehow even larger than that, Simone and his friends shattered the anti-spiral once and for all.
Hey, cruel indifference of the universe! Meet the indomitable human spirit!
Proving
what
I'm
Dominus
saying,
This is
dog.
the thing!
that Simone's drill is the drill that would pierce the heavens.
With no more worlds left to conquer, Simon chose to wander the earth for the rest of his days, in service to others.
Always looking up. For all the lights in the sky are stars, and every star another world of spiral cousins that can live free.
All thanks to a humble digger.
The universe.
So yeah, that's I mean they it's a very abridged retelling of Gurren Lagann, but yeah.
I mean, I think I know enough.
Starting small with the universe on this one.
Yeah, I mean that's DC. I mean DC Comics has had a lot more coverage in general, but
The way
Is a
I'll put it
dangerous
after
place.
finishing part 1 and before we start up part 2, if there's anybody ever who has a possibility of pulling out a W on Cape shit, it's Simon.
well, to be a little fair, it's not Cape shit in general that has a trouble of being beaten. It's mostly DC. DC
Actually,
If
has
there's
had
Cape
anyone
shit,
ever
like
that has the
shit.
possibility of beating DC Cape shit, it's Simon.
DC has had
Simone.
what technically 2 losses throughout the entire run of this show. One,
Yeah, and I'll bet there was
Now
something
be
like,
free.
Snuffly, the dog with 6 limbs. Like,
Harley
or
Quinn.
Aquaman or something. I don't know.
Harley Quinn lost to Jinx from League of Legends.
Yeah, the normal human being. That's crazy.
And
Can't believe that.
Specifically, Super Friends Aquaman lost to SpongeBob.
Okay, fuck. Maybe I do have to watch that episode.
It's a pretty
Love
good
to see-
episode. Matt just
love
watched
to
it like
see
Monday.
Aquaman catch a
It's
fucking
surprisingly
L.
good.
It
It's
is a
pretty
good
peak.
episode. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you're telling me that the two characters that lost were an ordinary psychiatrist and the little brother of the sea.
Also, yes, I should specify too. DC, I mean in terms of non-Marvel characters, because DC has lost to Marvel
That
quite a
doesn't
few
count.
times.
There are
Yeah.
Yeah, a comic book lost to a comic book. Okay, snooze. Let me know when a comic book character loses to the indomitable human spirit. Oh shit.
Should you find yourself
Maybe
face
now.
to face with an interdimensional vampire,
Yeah,
alien
your life
dictators,
ends
or this
12
one
minutes from
really
now.
pissed off cat, you know who to call.
The Green Lantern Corps. They're the Space Fuzz, an intergalactic police force founded billions of years ago by blue leprechaun gods.
And the greatest Green Lantern among them was everyone's favorite, Hal Jordan.
That's a
You
lie.
know him. You love him. You might hate him. But you gotta respect the man with a will as unbreakable as Hal's.
Ben 10
Until the
fans
day
catching
his
L's
will
forever.
broke.
After his hometown got completely obliterated, Hal lost his mind. He rampaged through the core, killing everyone in his path.
I learned
and
about this
absorbed
yesterday.
The central power battery. The
Yeah, it is funny that we were talking about this. Like, completely different topic we were bringing, like, Parallax got brought up.
You'll love to see that the Green Lantern storyline are fans of, I'm checking my notes here, Homestuck.
Oh,
No! Get out of here, Emily! You do not bring that name into this
I
chat.
love to cause problems
When
on
are we getting
purpose.
Homestuck on Death Battle?
Yeah.
when they find out how
It
to get
could
over
happen.
the stairs, bro.
I will say, I think the Parallax storyline happened before Homestuck, funny enough.
Of course it did.
It does.
What? To be clear to anyone who did not catch me dropping the curse, no, I don't actually think that shit. Because apparently some people might have the listening comprehension of chimpanzees.
Yeah, that's me.
literal Green Lantern.
Becoming the Emerald Tyrant, Parallax.
There was only one survivor of Parallax's killing spree, Ganthit. And with what remained of his strength, he gave the last Green Lantern ring in the universe to a human, Kyle Rayner.
So, was Kyle picked for his indomitable willpower like Hal was?
He was just there. He had no idea what was going on.
Literally just in the right place at the right time.
Just
Oh
a guy.
yeah.
He was just a dude who happened to get a ring.
Honestly, good. I'm tired of the Chosen One storylines. Give me some guy who's just in the room.
Also,
I
like,
do love that
honestly,
role.
Yeah, I'm with you on
with
that.
his theming, that is kind of part of it. Like, for characters like this, which are supposed to represent just human potential, it's important that Kyle Rayner was literally just any guy on the street. Because,
Yeah.
like, he has to be. That's the moral, right? Anyone is
Also-
capable of this.
Yeah, Kyle Rayner is a comic book artist. Also, dislikes DC editorial. God, fucking...
Hates love triangles too. I love that for him.
Must feel good being given the most
He's
dangerous
correct.
magical weapon in existence to figure out on your own. Hey, if Colonel Sanders, Daffy Duck, Space Wheat, and a sentient fox can master it, what's your excuse, Kyle?
The Green Lantern ring can do anything, fulfilling any wish its user desires as though it were a genie from a lamp.
It lets you fire energy blasts, create force fields, affect gravity, turn invisible and intangible, manipulate matter, time travel, warp reality, and erase things from existence.
Think we're exaggerating?
Yeah, time travel. Notably the thing that happened in Ben 10 Green Lantern. Because...
I mean, honestly,
consider
all
the-
of this is very good, but they're ignoring its most powerful ability. The fact that I can make shit out of green light, and I can just kind of do whatever.
yeah,
You're being hit by large shoe now. Good luck versus large shoe.
if,
I hope
you know... If you're Hal, you could do stuff like make a
on a
plane
tile?
and hit someone with it, or make a sword and hit someone with it.
Time
Well,
Kyle
you
stretched
know,
the very
you never
fabric of
said that
space to
cops
increase
had
the
to be
Planck length
creative.
a billion
Hal is
times
so
over.
fucking
That's
boring
like
with his
stretching
Green
an
Lantern
inch
ring.
into a light year.
Yeah,
And I think that's
Control
great
time and space.
now that we have other people who do stuff better with the lantern, you know?
Yeah, I know that you've got lots of spikes there. I made Karibo's shoe.
letting them fly so fast they can create a Speed Force singularity.
Tapping into the Speed Force requires entering a higher dimension of space, requiring speeds that are not only faster than light, but totally immeasurable. And the rings have an artificial intelligence that operates just as fast, automatically protecting its user from danger.
Like the time that Poozer Kilowog survived being erased from existence by the crisis on Infinite Earth.
The ring is fueled by its user's willpower and limited only by their imagination.
While Hal may have had the greatest willpower in the core, Kyle's imagination is unmatched. Probably because
His greatest willpower, as we just got done talking about how he fucking went crazy and murdered everybody.
Yeah, he just killed everyone, you know?
You do not, under any circumstances, gotta hand it to him regarding the murderer parallax.
Actually, hold on. There's an image I want to pull up. This just reminded me. I need to find it real quick.
Some willpower Hal has, killing everyone.
I love this fucking
Oh!
image.
Yes, good job! He's just a good
Pleased with
boy.
himself.
Oh.
I like how he just got a sketch pad. Oh, like he made a line of sketch pad, but still drew it.
He didn't make the image. He made the sketch pad.
Yeah, he made the sketch pad. He still drew the thing.
he's a comic book artist, and we know from this show, they think of some wild shit.
But the Green Lantern's most recognizable ability is their constructs, Kyle's speciality.
Samurai armor, pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers, and his favorite, super fighting robots. Hey, that one looks familiar.
Kyle can make them strong enough to lift the Spectre and
wait a
weighs as much as
Hey, hold on a second.
Wait, go back. It was too fast. I didn't.
recognizable ability is their constructs, Kyle's speciality.
Samurai armor, pirate ships, giant dragons, actual working home computers, and his favorite, super fighting robots. Hey,
Oh my
It's-
fucking god!
It is in fact Gurren Lagann.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
It's got the shades. It's Gurren Lagann.
Kyle is such a
Yeah.
fucking nerd. I love him.
that one looks familiar.
Kyle can make them strong enough to lift the
Hey,
Spectre and
Brainiac,
weighs as much
you watch
as
anime?
eternity.
Or hold back a 12.3 dimensional Big Bang. Wait, point.
Oh, that's
three?
an extra
DC's
dimension in the
multiverse
third.
has 12.3
Ah, shit.
dimensions? That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard.
The ring's only downside is that it's limited to 24 hours before needing a recharge.
So it can blow up universes, but it has the battery of an iPhone. Never mind, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Although I'd say Kyle's biggest weakness was Kyle. With great power came no responsibility.
Perhaps a manifestation of Kyle's self-doubt. Any reflection came too late, though, when one of Kyle's villains brutally murdered his girlfriend, Alex, and put her body in a fridge.
Kyle
Yeah,
wasn't the only
this
one.
this is
Oh.
fairly notorious.
Is this where fridging comes from?
Yes.
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 It's
No
from Kyle
shit.
Rayner.
It's from Kyle Rayner.
Yes.
That's
I thought
crazy.
that's why I know his name before this as well.
Yup.
Duh.
That's crazy. All right. I knew
Yeah.
somebody at some point in history got a fridge on them.
Yeah.
Or in this
Yeah.
case, in a fridge. I
Yeah.
didn't know that this is
Holy
where.
moly.
That's so cool. All right. I'm learning things
Traumatized.
today.
This
Thanks,
moment
Death
was
Battle.
so infamous,
You're
it
good
started
as
the trope
educational
called
content.
fridging.
For how female characters are often sacrificed as mere plot devices to further a male character's development.
Yeah,
So
I think
it
what
might
hers is
surprise
like
you
one
that
of
it
the more
happened to
egregious
Kyle
at the time as
again.
well.
Kyle
Oh
finally
my fucking god!
Wait, it happened twice?
It happened twice!
What the fuck do you mean it
Damn.
happened twice?
At a certain point, you should stop dating or getting fridges.
Fucking, this is what I mean when I say, when, like, one of Kyle's dislikes is DC editorial. They do him so fucking dirty with the stupidest fucking plot lines.
got serious. He became a prominent member of the Justice League, faced off against Hal, and even rebuilt the Green Lantern Corps better than ever.
But little did he know, this torchbearer's greatest journey had only just begun.
In order to save Ganthet from an emotional lobotomy, it's a long story, he had to master all the colors of the emotional electromagnetic spectrum.
There are 7 colors, each representing a different emotion. The yellow light of fear lets Kyle manipulate the worst horrors in your mind. The more scared you are of him, the stronger he becomes.
Orange light is fueled by bottomless avarice, possessing Kyle to absorb not merely his enemies' attacks, but also their souls.
Red is rage, ripping out Kyle's heart and replacing his blood with napalm, which sounds like it sucks, but it's metal as hell.
Blue light is powered by hope, and
I will say, it is very funny how, like, there's so many cool green, or, how many cool lanterns there are. And, like, so very few of them are Green Lanterns. Because, like, Atrocitus and, it's not Larfleeze, I'm forgetting the cat's name. But, like, the Red Lantern's pretty cool. Sinestro, despite originally being associated with Green Lantern, Sinestro's pretty cool. Yeah, Dexstar, that's his name. Starfire was a Blue Lantern at one point.
Oh, yeah, I can see him being a Blue Lantern.
allows Kyle to heal wounds, resist mental domination, and supercharge his ring.
Indigo is compassion, reducing his opponent's will to fight and letting him open portals across space, connecting him to others.
The final one was the Sapphire Light of Love. With it, he can trap enemies within crystal matrices and control their
That's not
minds.
gonna work.
But Kyle only mastered it
That's
by
how love
forgiving
works.
himself for Alex's tragic death.
Oh, self-love. I get it. Must be nice. And with their powers combined, he doesn't just make his enemies taste the rainbow.
The lights of the spectrum merged, and Kyle became a White Lantern with total control over the power of life.
Wiz, I cannot think of an attack more useless in a death battle than something that makes you live.
Empowered by the physical embodiment
Someone's clearly
of all
never
life
heard
in
of
the
what
DC
necromancy
multiverse, Kyle is
is.
vastly more powerful than any other lantern in existence.
Far stronger than Hal, who could harness the energy of every power battery across the multiverse.
Not only can Kyle instantly heal all wounds, purify corruption, and resurrect the dead, the white light of life is strong enough to go up against threats to all of creation, like the Anti-Monitor.
Okay, so it's not totally useless.
Especially after Kyle visited the Sword.
Also, yeah, Anti-Monitor and Anti-Spiral is very funny.
Yes.
And acquired the life equation, essentially the source code to reality.
And there's
The life equation
probability
is
on the
mathematical
DC
proof.
side as well. There's maths everywhere.
Yeah, unfortunately, we're
Yeah.
gonna make math happen.
If there's like any character that can win against a character like Simone, it's a character like Kyle Rayner.
Mm-hmm.
But on the counterpoint, if there's anyone that can win against a character like Kyle Rayner, it's a character like Simone.
True. Yeah, also,
No,
yeah,
it's
Darkseid's
because
whole
it's
thing is
not.
he's looking for the anti-life equation.
What?
That life is worth living.
With it, Kyle can alter all of reality at a whim, even threatening the new gods like Darkseid.
The life equation, like its counterpart, the anti-life equation, is a conceptual artifact from a higher reality, originating in a platonic realm that is, in a sense, more real than we are.
So it's not a shock that the equation made Kyle too powerful.
He struggled to control it, and it subconsciously manifested a being composed of his fears and anxieties. Oblivion. Kyle's greatest weakness was still himself.
Kyle spent his whole life struggling with the power that the gods granted him, and throughout it all, he always rose to the occasion, carrying the universe on his back.
But ultimately, the only way to stop power from corrupting is to spread it. So Kyle split the life equation into pieces to found his second core, the White Lanterns. And together, they shattered Oblivion, destroying the self-doubt that plagued Kyle once and for all.
Not bad for a comic book geek from LA.
And now he was the one giving out rings of unlimited power to people who weren't sure if they could command it.
So he told them the truth. You can't teach someone how to use such power. You have to learn yourself, making mistakes along the way.
But with the power of life at their command, there's no end to their journey, only endless beginnings.
Yeah, I'd
feel
say
the-
that... Oh, go ahead.
I can feel the care put into both of these analyses.
Yeah, I'd say they did a really good job gassing Kyle up and explain...
Yeah.
Because, like, Kyle is probably one of the more obscure characters in terms of DC. Because, like,
Yeah.
Green Lanterns outside of Hal are already fairly, like, obscure. Well, Hal and Jon Stewart, I would say. And Jon Stewart is solely because of he was in the cartoon.
I got it up.
Well, Guy Gardner will
Everyone-
probably have a bit of a pump up with the new movie, and everyone will realize how much Guy Gardner sucks. Affectionate.
I think that,
Yeah,
people are going to. I think that they chose the perfect actor to portray Guy Gardner.
Nathan Fillion, yeah. Yeah, Guy Gardner sucks so much. It's so funny.
He sucks, but he still has heart, and that's what I love about him.
His heart. It's just the heart sucks.
Literally the embodiment of you're doing your best. You never said it was good.
I love him. He's terrible.
And as all, yeah, his haircut is very stupid. That
Yes.
bowl cut is so fucking funny.
I'm so glad they kept it.
Yes. Oh yeah, prediction is up. You got a minute. I'm actually going to
remember
let this
Beerus
ad
versus Sailor
rerun.
Galaxia? No? Well, that's because it was taken off YouTube for being too anime. But we've got a solution. It's our own website.
Wait, what?
That's www.deathbattle.gg. It's like our
They
own
didn't
private
like that
Patreon with a
was
store
Sailor
for Death
Moon
Battle
in a
merch
Death
and a
Battle.
complete Death Battle video archive.
They
It's got
actually
episodes that
took it
YouTube.
off for
Yeah.
being anime.
Well, no, that's a joke. They took it off because fucking Toei
Sailor
was
Moon.
big mad about Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
really
okay.
funny.
It's the only one that I believe that's actually been taken down properly.
Yes, I think there's a couple that have been taken down temporarily, but they got put back up.
Yeah.
And it also has uncensored Spawn versus Ghost Rider, where Spawn actually makes the fucking reference and is allowed to say fuck.
Is banned, blocked,
for him.
and censored, and there's even more goodies on the way. So check out deathbattle.gg live right now.
GG.
So yeah, it's just like another way to support the crew. It's it's effectively their own personal Patreon. I
for
think it's $5 a month, and you get access to like merch that you can buy at a discount and all the archive. Just a neat little thing.
Yeah.
All right, the combatants are set, and we've run the data through all possibilities.
It's time for a death battle!
So I will pause it here just because specifically for Emrys actually.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any instances of like actual flashing lights, but it does get very bright just by
Oh,
virtue of
thank
it
you
being
for that.
Gurren
I'm not
Lagann.
that kind of epileptic, but it is good for the audience too.
Yeah. Yeah, it does get very bright. I think there is a fade to white at some point. But yeah, I figured I'd just get that out of the way.
Thanks for the warning.
Wait, you
But
can-
yeah.
Emrys, you can block out the sun?
I can, yeah.
I didn't know you
It's
were.
really problematic when he does that.
I do when I'm mad sometimes.
All right, I'm not rusty at all.
Hey dude, Green Lantern Officer Kyle Rayner here. Ring says you've got a Class A galactic super weapon, whatever that is. I'm thinking it's the giant mech. Why don't you hand it over?
Gurren Lagann's mine, officer. Just who the hell do you think you are?
Said the thing!
Said it. That's Balrog, I know him.
That was Balrog!
I'm told I'm bad with authority.
Tell me about it. 4!
4? That's nothing! My drill will pierce the heavens!
Said it.
Take it to Gurren Lagann! That's really cool. I'm a digger.
We do the impossible.
See the invisible.
Touch the untouchable.
Break the unbreakable.
Hey, that's so good.
You ain't know?
Now you know.
Yep, strong holy missiles.
Ah, I've got the best wife in the universe swing! Fuck yeah!
Simone the Digger! If there's a
Oh
wall
shit,
in
the
my
first
way,
wall.
Fuck it!
Stop fighting. Think about your fear of death, your love of your friends, your compassion for me, your hope for the future. Choose life.
Have faith in the Simone that believes in you.
Super Tekken Topa Gurren Lagann! My drill is the drill that will transcend the heavens! Giga Drill Break!
You didn't do it right.
He did it right enough! Fuck it! Let's go!
Yeah, whatever.
The super weapon wasn't your mech. It was me. Then, Simone, I'm taking you in brightest day, in blackest night. No evil shall escape my sight. Let those who worship evil's might beware my power. Green Lantern fly!
Let's see you grit those teeth!
You'd make a good lantern.
Simone of Earth, you have been chosen.
Just who the hell do you
Damn.
think I am?
That was so fucking cool.
That was really good.
Phenomenal fucking episode.
Oh.
That was incredible.
It's
Fantastic work, gang.
It's so fucking good, y'all. I fucking adore this episode so much. It did everything I wanted and more from this episode. Like, going back to the very beginning, and I'm gonna gush about a lot of shit.
Yeah, go for it. This is the gushing
Get
time.
on your sofa. But like, it's already
Not there. So it did a incredible job of fucking portraying Kyle as a big fucking nerd, because guess what? That's the Poltergeist from Luigi's Mansion.
I said Luigi's Mansion mid-fight.
Okay, I did actually hear you. I think I turned down the video at one point.
Yeah, sorry, you were locked in. I understand.
Shenron from Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bonbaro horns from Monster Hunter.
Yo, Bonbaro
hell those
mentioned.
were.
Let's go.
This moment when he makes a construct out of Superman. Not only is it Superman showing like, because Superman is like Kyle Rayner's like favorite person. It's specifically the Superman, the giant mech Superman.
Yeah.
Because
He
you
also
can
had
see
a
with
Wonder Woman shield, right?
Yeah, he has Wonder Woman's equipment, a sword made out of hope, and the fucking shield made out of compassion. I think it is with Blue. Yeah, this moment where he's fucking using all the Blue's hope. That's it. Yeah. Yeah, Green's will. I knew that much. When he tries to, also the fact that all of Kyle's constructs have comic book dithering, and when Simone is in the fucking, like, when he's trying to dissuade Simone from fighting and manipulate his will, Simone has the comic book dithering on him?
Oh.
It's
Yeah,
very
they do that a
thorough.
couple times. Like when they hit each other, it's with the opposite, like,
Yes.
hit effects.
Send the heavens! Giga Drill Break!
This moment where fucking he does the big drill, Kyle gets super hyped, responds by creating a White Lantern drill that's backed up by all the other spectrum of emotions. God,
Yeah,
it's...
you've got one drill. That's pretty cool, I guess. Here are my 7 drills. Okay, all
My
right.
drill and his 7 sons.
It's just, it's so fucking cool. And yeah, them both having mutual respect for each other, and Simone, like, when he summons Superman, going, that's so cool. And of course, the fist fight at the end is fucking peak.
In blackest night.
The fist fight is
evil
straight
shall
up
escape my
versus
sight.
anti-spiral stuff. Which,
Let those who worship evil's might.
It's one of the best
Beware my
finales
power.
in media.
Green Lantern fly!
Also, yeah, the delivery on the Green Lantern oath is fucking phenomenal.
Which I will actually back Sprout up a little bit on this. The delivery on the Green Lantern oath being so good makes it a little bit disappointing that the Giga Drill break didn't hit. I get it. It wasn't really supposed to. That wasn't. So
What did they do wrong?
It's
specifically, it's Giga space drill space break, and each time they say something, a new part of the drill like unfolds. But in this one, they just say it, and then the drill gets big, and they go. It's a very small nitpick, but in something that does everything right, to find anything wrong, you must pick nits. So please understand.
Yeah,
only said from a point of like, there's very little improvement here in terms of what they could have done with this media.
Yeah, and like the only like criticisms I really have is
criticisms.
There's 2 points in the animation where you can tell they had someone with a very different art style animating.
Yeah.
During the very beginning, when they first go into space, and when Kyle first absorbs the life equation, are like, those are the only 2 moments where they look off model.
It really hits where it needs to hit.
You'd make a good lantern.
Simon of Earth, you have been chosen.
Completely disloyal ring.
Just who the
No
hell do you
loyalty
think I am?
whatsoever.
Well, no, I think that's the dude behind the rings who like does whatever. Like,
I know, it's just very funny how in the animation it just pops off the corpse like, I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah, it's not even like it's in terms of like trying to get a bounce back relationship. It's not even a bounce back. It's just, hey, how are you doing?
My boyfriend died.
You're cute.
Let's go get dinner.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, Simone, I heard you're single.
So what are your abilities powered by? The indomitable human spirit. Oh my god, the indomitable human spirit, that is so funny.
That's crazy. Oh my god.
Oh my
we have so much in common.
We have so much
You're
in
not gonna
common.
believe this.
What are you doing later? Like, do you already have a ring?
What were you gonna say?
Is there any
Sonia?
special jewelry in your life right now?
I feel like the answer is yes, but I'm guessing the words.
The answer
that was
is
stored-
in fact yes. Oh wait,
I'm gonna
sorry.
punch you. The words in the black and white void is just the life matter thing.
Yeah, that was the life
Probably just-
equation. Yeah.
Yeah, I figured it was, but I was actively trying to read it as the first. Because like that's what my brain does. It's like, oh yeah, this cool fight's happening. What is the word saying?
It's like, yeah, it's like compassion, humility, hope, Brangus, medium, wood. It's like, okay, yeah, there's a lot in here. I get it.
KR, I actually kind of like that it was kept ambiguous as to whether or not Simone actually, like, accepts the ring or not. Because, like, who the hell do you think I am? I mean, it's his, like, one of his catchphrases, but also, it has a couple, like, meanings as to what it could be referring to, and I'm glad they kept it somewhat ambiguous.
It's whatever you would personally prefer,
Yeah.
is kind of what the answer shakes out to be.
I prefer
Which
that
I
the ring
think's
becomes a
good.
person and starts kissing Simone. What are we doing here?
You're right, I guess.
You weren't prepared for secret option number 4.
4? What happened to 3?
Don't worry about it. We don't talk about 3.
Not about number 3.
KO!
for the guy with the
Can't wait to
snazzy
see
Accepts it. He
sunglasses.
doesn't accept it.
When both
Secret
combatants
third
possess
thing.
unlimited power,
Pissing.
it's
Let's
hard
do
to
the
judge
opposite.
them by our normal standards. Take speed.
Yeah.
Simone can hit an
Let's
infinite number
let's
of
do
targets
power
all at
scale. The
once,
guys go,
and Kyle
oh
can
shit,
fight
we
fast
ran
enough
out
to
of scale.
surpass the normal
We hit
concept
the-
of speed itself.
We have to recalibrate.
The scale. We have to get a new scale.
A second scale. You just line them up next to each other, and that's how you actually increase the power scale.
They're actually just going to start using Gurren Lagann as the scale. Like they're just going to start using. They're like, okay, so like here's like, so this guy could do 3 Gurren Laganns, like worth of power.
It would not surprise me now that they've actually introduced this to people if at a later time they went like, that is as much as 1/10 of a Gurren Lagann. It's just like, okay.
I'm pretty sure I
The
kept on
sky
referencing like other
is now
stuff
the
like
limit.
that.
Simone and Kyle, their imagination, their willpower, and their ultimate potential.
First up, imagination.
That's
The
a wrap on
boundless
the big
things
one.
they could conjure to
Sorry.
use against the other. Both could think up just about anything the other could, like absorbing each other's attacks, fighting across time, anything.
Simone did have a few attacks that Kyle hasn't encountered, like the probability-altering missiles, but it's likely Kyle could adapt considering his ring could protect against existence being erased across the multiverse.
And in general, Kyle's constructs were a lot more creative than Simone's arsenal, which was mostly drills. Though again, nothing Simone couldn't adapt to with, say, his energy absorption. Imagination is a draw.
But also,
that leaves the other main factor
more
for both
drills.
characters.
Anytime one drill is enough, you get several more.
willpower.
It's
And
great.
that's really gonna
Yeah,
be the
pretty
winning
sure in that
factor,
fight with,
since it's the source of everything.
Anti-spiral, well, doesn't one drill break and he just makes another? Like if
it
it ain't
is
broke, don't
specifically
fix it.
in the final like conflict of drill v drill. There are some times when he's going like left and right drill. As one breaks, he makes another. But the cooler one is the one where every time a drill breaks, a smaller mech that was inside the larger mech pops out and starts matryoshking forward
right, I remember
with
that
its
scene.
smaller drill.
I remember
And
that.
just it's incredibly cool, to be clear. It is the hypest shit in the world, especially because then you get down to the little one, and it's fighting a thing the size of the thing it was a minute ago, which is unfathomably large, and it's just kind of holding its own, and you're like, fuck yeah, brother. I love it.
For both
What
of
was I
them,
talking about
whoever's
again?
got the
Simone killed
stronger
this guy.
willpower wins.
Both can manipulate reality on a multiversal scale with their willpower, but we can use dimensions to roughly calculate a difference. This might sound absurd for most characters, but it's necessary for beings as beyond the pale as Simone and Kyle.
The multiverse labyrinth that Simone absorbed contained 11 spatial dimensions. That's 1.3 dimensions less than the multiverse Kyle's power can threaten.
And remember, each numbered
Don't
dimension
you forget it.
infinitely surpasses the one below it.
Which meant Kyle's willpower was stronger at a base level. However, that doesn't necessarily mean Kyle gets the edge, because if there's one thing both of these guys are known for,
No,
it's
they
that
won't
they
let
can
Kyle
always
edge.
get stronger.
So to determine the limits of their willpower, we first need to understand their full potential.
Simone's whole deal with spiral power is how he can constantly evolve to get stronger. So just because
That's how
Simone
drill
starts off
works.
weaker doesn't mean he'll stay that way.
Absorbing the multiverse
Yeah,
labyrinth
this is
requires
Kyle
Simone to
Rayner's
leap from
main problem here is that like part of Simone's canonized power set is that he will eventually win. And that's real tough to like fight if you're a guy doing anything else.
A guy with self-doubt as well.
Yeah, but he got better
several
about
orders
that.
of infinity in
Yeah,
an
but then,
instant.
you know.
Simone
Fix it.
made
He got better.
himself that much stronger
Well,
through
he should have
sheer
fixed
force
it, and
of
then he
will.
could have
More
fought.
than enough to close the
Yeah,
gap with
can move a
Kyle.
little bit further
Especially
with each
since
turn.
spiral power
That's how
also
he
lets
made
him
it.
regenerate his
That's how
body
it
down to an
rolls.
informational level. Kyle's never destroyed something that thoroughly before.
Without the ability to easily kill Simone, it was only a matter of time before
golf
Kyle's
shot's
ring
so
ran
fucking
low
funny.
on charge.
The golf shot is
Especially
so
since Simone could likely
inspired.
regenerate
I
for at
love
least
that.
a week straight, like Nia did. While Blue Lantern Light could boost Kyle's power, he's never jumped several orders of infinity in strength like Simone has.
And while Kyle could manipulate
Several
emotions to
orders
reduce
of
Simone's
infinity.
willpower,
Shut the
Simone
fuck-
resisting
that's
the
so-
labyrinth's
You're just
mental
saying
manipulation
They're just
meant he
saying
could
shit.
power through
That's what
anything
I'm
Kyle
saying.
threw at him.
Everything, that is, except for the life equation. It originated from a higher level of reality and would have more than even the odds.
Too bad Kyle couldn't control it. It was just as much a detriment to him as an asset. forcing him to relinquish it to keep from destroying reality and himself.
Compare that to Simone, who merged with a version of himself writing a version of Gurren Lagann, and using spiral power to make that fiction into reality.
A pretty similar level of reality to the life equation, and a level of power Simone had no trouble embracing and mastering by the end of his story. No matter how you look at it, Simone might start weaker, but his peak will always transcend Kyle's. Isn't that how all of Simone's battles usually go anyway? That's Gurren Lagann in a nutshell.
So Simone's incredible potential.
That's what I
eclipsed Kyle,
said!
which means his willpower
That's what
was
I'm
ultimately
saying!
greater. Kyle may have embodied
Yeah,
life
Ace
itself,
up.
but Simone's unstoppable evolutionary potential would shatter even this lantern's light.
I hope Kyle at least dug the fight, because when it comes to death battle losers, he was a dead ringer.
The winner is Simone the Digger.
Next time.
Yeah, hell of a thing considering this is officially
Yeah, how do you
DC's...
follow this up? They have to cool down after this. They can't go bigger, so I'm wondering how they go smaller.
What it is. I
Yeah.
think everybody hinted it yesterday.
I did say a thing, but before that, we have to...
What? Oh,
We gotta do the thing.
I mean, 10.
It's Peem!
Is this a question? It's Peem.
Yeah.
It's 10.
It's peak.
It's 10.
It's peak.
It's 10.
All right.
It's the top of 10. Like, is this?
Can we make a new category just for? Can we make the category Tengen top of Gurren Lagann?
It has to be because it has to transcend its limits. It literally needs to be
does.
better.
Yeah,
is
it
the-
needs.
Thank
Can we make
you.
Can we just make a tier named Touch the Untouchable or some shit?
No, it's Team.
It's Peem! It's Peem!
It's
It
Peem.
is Peem. It is Peem. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. It's Peem. What was I thinking?
12.3 out of 11 is insane.
So, yeah, that was probably the easiest fucking ranking we've ever done. I didn't even have to bust out the calculator for that
What are we doing
one.
here? Do we look like clowns to you? Do we look like we're getting a funny joke here? No, get the fuck out of my office. I'm here to watch two men beat the shit out of each other.
That's
Sonia, has seeing this affected your desire to watch Gurren Lagann now?
Please watch Gurren Lagann. Honestly, unironically, Gurren Lagann probably helped
It
me
was
grow
already-
as a person.
It was
I
already on
agree.
the list to watch this year because
Good.
I watched Best 10 Anime and it was on that. And like I'm like, I know it's gonna be good, but I just haven't watched it yet. And I even thought I really should watch it before Death Battle, but then I'm moving houses, so I just haven't had time. So now I have to watch it afterwards, and then I'll tell you.
The
all
best
what
part
I-
is knowing about Simone and knowing about the threat of the anti-spiral. There's a bunch of good characters in that show. And I
Yeah,
know
there's a
some
bunch of
people
shit.
would be like, "No, it's just like a bunch of other folks," but it's just like, no, there's. Come on, you know you like the crew.
I'm
Sometimes
very
knowing
excited to hear what you
about-
think of it, Sonia.
Sometimes knowing about roughly what happened makes the moments hit a bit more anyway.
Yeah.
True.
So
For me,
yeah.
that's why I'm always so like I'm kind of I don't give as much of a shit about spoilers because for me it is the journey, and when it comes to like anime like that, I know I'm gonna get spoiled. Granted I've seen, I had seen Gurren Lagann, but it had it spoiled.
Yeah.
So I was in a similar position, but it makes the journey that much more fun because you're focusing on exactly how it's gonna get there. It's so great.
Yeah. The only time I don't like to be spoiled if it's happening just before I'm about to see it. And then I'm just like, God damn it. Anyway.
Yeah.
Crowbar.
I'm on Death Battle.
Oh, damn, you're right. It is a lower scale. It's a Mad Max episode. Wait a fucking minute!
Oh.
What?
No.
Jokes. They got jokes.
No.
They got
Okay.
jokes.
Is
That'd be
it?
so
Now
good!
hold on. Wait.
Subscribe.
Okay, it's not the duos. I was about to say, is it Tom and Jerry versus Wiley and the Roadrunner?
Nope.
That'd be crazy.
There's no way they're not gonna well,
Wiley
I don't
and
think we
Roder
said-
hate each other.
Tom wins that no contest.
Does he?
Have to-
Absolutely.
Both these characters are so fucking... They're both cartoons.
cartoon
so-
characters.
We
You gotta
literally
remember,
liken
they're
other
cartoon
events. We
characters.
liken other events in cartoons, in other completely unrelated cartoons, to Looney Tunes shit. So I'm excited to see what happens here.
Yeah, we have actually we're going into Looney Tunes shit. It is
Literal. We just got done with Looney Tunes shit.
well, the thing we had to. There is no way to escalate from here. They have to cool down with something that
Need
is.
to have a little break because we
Yeah,
get
exactly.
super quiet.
So, yeah, the whole thing, this was, I was about to say last year, but that's not correct. 2 years ago, yeah, during the whole Rooster Teeth shit. 2 years ago, they had the Tournament of Champions, which is the fan voted matchup situation. And there was a whole tournament thing, and Kratos versus Asura came second, which is very funny because it came second in the last poll that they did too. But Wile E. Coyote versus Tom won that tournament. So that was
so this is. I'm not going to say contractually obligated, but this is certainly anticipated.
Ordained.
Yeah, it was something that was
Ordained.
guaranteed to happen.
Yeah, there you go. That's a good word for it. It's able to preach.
But yeah, this was guaranteed to happen. It just obviously it would have happened in the season 11. Had Rooster Teeth not shut down, and now we're in the weird thing where we don't really have seasons anymore. Where they're kind of just years since it's an episode every month now.
Yeah. This happened shortly around the time that the Wile E. Coyote movie was like rumored to be shut down too, if I remember. So it was just a bad year for Coyote, man.
Yeah, so I made the joke that Wile E. Coyote can't have shit in this house because fucking the whole thing with Wile E. versus Acme happened. Then this episode was confirmed to happen. And then Rooster Teeth got shut down. Which meant, you know, this episode's existence was completely up in the air until the Kickstarter happened. Also, yeah, it's going to be animated by Luis, who animated Scooby vs. Courage and Jack vs. Afro Samurai.
God, I can't wait for a death battle that is just an endless conga line of Roadrunner, Tom and Jerry gags back and forth against each other until the end of time. It's gonna be so good.
I kind of hope that in a similar vein to how Courage vs. Scooby ended in a tie, this one doesn't end in a tie in the same vein, but they do both die. One just dies first.
Hope they do. I hope so. And this is coming out of affection and love. I hope they both die.
This is a race to the bottom. Don't get it twisted.
No, directly. This is a race to the bottom. Thank you. You beat me to it. This is absolutely nobody's going to land a blow on their opponent. This is absolutely a battle of durability.
It's gonna be so good.
It's not one like I was never super invested in this matchup, but like it's going to be good probably. Like the odds of it being bad are pretty against it, considering.
Hold on. I will say it would be very easy to make a mid version of this fight. It would take some talent to make a good version of this fight. Because it is very easy to just make them hit themselves and all that. To make that happen while still being antagonistic properly is a difficult balance. And I have faith that they'll do it, considering we've seen this kind of thing in the past. Is that your OC?
Oh, it's Tails.
Why is Tails here?
I don't know. That's
Chat, what have you been doing? I looked away.
Why is Tails so buff?
It's a tired Tails. That happens in the Sonic.
Oh, Ken Pender's
Yeah, it's
Sonic.
Ken
Okay.
Pender's OC Titan Tails. It's like Super Sonic, but way worse.
He's like
Yeah.
tough and stuff.
Right, I forgot about Ken Pender's Tails. Sorry. To be specific, I blocked out Ken Pender's Tails.
That's fair.
That's correct.
That's so real.
But yeah, I will say the reason why I do have pretty high hopes for this fight is because it's being done by Luis, who, as mentioned, did Courage versus Scooby, who also very much understood the assignment.
Yeah,
of that
okay,
fight.
this is going to be peak. This is absolutely going to be peak. Okay, thank you.
We might need to make another new tier
Any
peak,
tiers-
or just 10 out of 10 peak?
No, just 10 out of 10. But I
Okay.
still do think this is absolutely going to be peak. Absolutely, 100%.
Yeah, I'm really
Sorry,
looking forward
you
to
said
it.
the magic words. Whoever did Scooby-Doo versus Courage understands the assignment well enough to teach.